this is Jeff Al Gilbert. Welcome to my live call tonight. And it starts with an interesting question. How do I know you? Started in this business totally broke. Sold a junk truck to get started, put $200 in my business. And the last 27 years, I have been full-time in network marketing. If you'd like to do that, keep listening, and then I'll like to give some acknowledgments. Everybody is having an awesome, awesome week. I hope you're crushing it in what you're doing. You know, today is the last day of the month, and I hope you and your leaders are not freaking out saying, what am I gonna do to finish? Anyway, hopefully you're not in that state. If yeah, it's okay. If you are, then it's a matter of just Fazal from Malaysia, from the country of Malaysia. Nice to see you. Michelle from British Columbia, Canada. Nice to see you as well. And Esther, nice to see you. Now, before I get into the questions, you know, interesting thing happened, and it's just a teaching point, okay? I'm just gonna make a point that, and 1 second, I forgot something. How could I forget my ring light? Oh my gosh. Get over there. Here we go. Forgot about my ring light. Oh well. There. Now you can see my face better. I forgot my ring light. Anyway, but you know, how many times have you heard me say this, that when you go to events, meet people, get to know people, even if you're standing in a Starbucks line, I don't care what it is, right? You know, you're standing next to somebody, get to know them. Get out of the phone and start talking to them. Well, it was interesting when I went to the Business Mastery, and that is last week, Anthony Robbins. I met some great people, and just awesome people, because you know, those kind of people that went to that event are obviously interested in their future, right? So it was in Jemima from Northeast India. Nice to see you on the call. So when I was there, I remember, you know, my wife Michelle connected with some of the Chinese that were at that event, and in fact, one had come over from China to Business Mastery. Imagine that, flying all the way from, you know, from China to come to West Palm Beach, Florida, to learn how to get better at business. And so, and she just happens to be here. Oh my gosh. Come on over here, Wei. I mean, May. May.
Wei is my sister.
Yeah, Wei is. Yeah, Wei, actually.
Hey guys.
Yeah, Wei.
My name is May. I'm from the virus where it came from. Don't worry, I was born there, but I did not live there.
Wait a second.
Cross fingers for my family. They're all doing good.
I died from the virus. No, I'm joking. No, I'm joking. Anyway, hey Lynn, nice to see you, Lynn. So May is from Shenzhen, China. Did I say that right?
Yes.
Okay.
I live in Shenzhen.
Yeah. So I got to, so interesting that my wife connected at that event with several Chinese in a WeChat group? In a WeChat. Now,
Oh, Michelle, hi.
and ni hao. So so the over in China, the app that they use is WeChat. So my wife was in a WeChat group at Tony Robbins' event last week. So last night she said, "Hey, the Chinese are going to go to dinner tonight. My Chinese friends, let's go." So I said, "Okay, let's go." So we went across the street and found a restaurant, and then so May came in and sat beside me, and so she immediately got into the conversation. We were talking. She said, "So what do you do?" I said, "I'm involved in network marketing." And she says, "As in affiliate marketing?" I said, yeah. She said, "Really? I'd like to know more about what you're doing." And so we just struck up the conversation. And so I started talking to her about it. She said, "I'd be interested in working with you." I said, "Really?" Now, and of course, we have an office in Shanghai, China. So just imagine, I think you're a very driven person.
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, do you notice that? I am.
You have to tell the world what do you want. The universe will help you. And if you do not tell the world what you want, nobody know about the dream. They cannot help you if they want to, right?
That's right.
Here I am.
Well, and Here I Am was interesting because she did not want to go back to China because of the virus. Yeah.
I had to cancel my flight.
She had to cancel it.
Yeah.
So I asked her, I said, "Well, what are you going to do?" She said, "Well, I got some friends I might be able to hang out with." I said, "Well, you could always fly up to Tennessee and stay at our place. And then you'll learn more about what we're doing in China." And so she said, "Yeah, let's do it, So she came up, her and her friend. She has her friend upstairs. Yeah. So
She's watching. Yeah, she's.
And so, interesting thing. Tell the story though, and this is something to get creative about. And we use, even in China, how they use social media. Because do you have that product that you were?
Oh yes.
All right, so yeah, we got the wrapper. Now, this right here is a product that it's a Japanese company, and they sell these by a box, $600 to a box. And this is a healthy snack?
Yeah, healthy snack.
A healthy snack, okay. And so her friend, now she's a teacher, and your friend's a student?
Yeah, maybe I'll introduce myself first.
Yeah, why don't you do that?
Yeah, it's easier. So here, this is my brand, Cosmic Citizen. It is a global platform to empower women, especially China. I have members over 15 countries, but mainly they're Chinese who live outside of China. So we have courses like speed reading, public speaking, confidence, all courses for women. And I have a high-end course student who is 25 years old who sold products similar like this. She has 30 products, all networking marketing. She sold over 10 million RMB in 1 week. So I was pretty impressed. And then,
now, what's an RMB?
So US dollar you divide by 7.5 is US dollar.
Oh, wait a second. I flunked math. I wasn't good in school.
Okay.
They only graduated me to get rid of me. So what does that mean in dollars?
So that means you make about 60,000 US dollar in 1 week.
So your friend made 60,000 marketing this on WeChat, right?
No, 60,000. Yeah.
$60,000 a week marketing a healthy snack on WeChat.
Yeah.
Okay. I would say network marketing is doing very well in China.
Yeah, because actually it is how do they do it? They do it through the platform. Let me show you guys.
Okay.
WeChat, can you see it?
Yeah.
WeChat, you can go to Apple Store and download it, and you have billions of users, I believe, and you can do transactions on it. It's a combination of Facebook, Instagram, and Tinder, Uber, everything all in one. Our life is on it. So you do all kinds of sharing own it and people interested, and then they can buy from you. And this girl, she has over 50,000 team in her line.
50,000 in her line. How old is she?
25.
25 years old, has 50,000 in her line. Yeah, we really feel bad for her tonight. We really don't. All of you feel bad for her tonight. So anyway, but you're looking at that, and then so then you yourself, how do you feel about network marketing?
To be honest, I'm exploring and researching on it. First of all, I need to be confident about the product. Second, I need to be confident about that person. And right now, I feel really good about the product for Life and Jeff, Johnny and Michelle.
I forgot to tell her not to mention company names.
Oh.
No company
For
names.
Life,
No. Okay. Anyway, but this is a good example of youth and the future of youth, and then how they use apps in order to advance their products and services. I thought it was good, but it was also an example of, I don't know you that well, right?
No, we just met a few days ago in Business Mastery of Tony Robbins.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So going to events and all that is a great way for you to meet people, and and things like this happen, and then next thing you know, you're working with an awesome person like this, and then it's just a great way to build your business. Whereas everybody thinks the hustle is just on Facebook or just social media platforms, but I met you offline, right?
Yes, we did.
That's right, offline. That's right.
I actually believe that offline builds trust quickly, and once you build up the offline, that people, he has at least 250 people behind him. That all belongs to you. So why not go meet this real person? I call them the traffic person for me. You can call him driver, right? Because behind this person, there's so many people behind him. We just want to deal with him. We don't need to go to deal with people behind him who are not as driven or not a leader yet. There's so many important people we can meet online, build trust immediately, and then we secure the person behind him.
Isn't that amazing? Aren't young people amazing in this business?
Yeah, WeChat together.
Yeah, Daniel. Yeah.
Wow. Take massive actions right now. Do it. Download it now. And add me as a friend.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Okay.
For Life, let's go.
No company names. What is she doing? Anyway. All right. So we're going to get into I just thought I'd share that tonight. I thought that was interesting. Here's a question from Prashant, and if you got a question, you can post it, and then George will screenshot it. Is it good to tell the benefits of products of our company in Facebook Lives? Prashant, here's the thing. That's tight. It's a slippery slope, I guess is the word I'm looking for. If you want to talk about your products, you can do that. Here's what I would recommend you not do. Don't do it all the time. Because if you sound like a commercial, every time when people sign into Facebook, if they go to your page and there you are about your product they're going to just scroll. They're going to keep going. They're going to say, oh, it's another commercial. I mean, it's like you go and sitting and watching TV, right? You sit down to watch something and you turn on the channel and it's a commercial. And what do? Well, okay, I'll go to another channel. Well, it's a commercial. I'll go to another channel. Oh, found something that has content that I value. Okay? So what I'd say is it's okay to do it from time to time. Just don't do it constantly. And I think sometimes if you mumble, you'll be more successful at it. In other words, you can talk about, build in your content the value, the need for a product. In other words, you're focusing on it. Like we're hearing so much about this virus. So May is here. She's not going back to China until, well, who knows? She may never go back to China. But anyway, but because of the virus, right? So all of a sudden there's a big focus on immunity, the immune system. Is my immune system strong enough to handle it if I got this virus? Would I make it, right? So a lot of people are thinking about that. So there's an awareness for that. So if I did a Facebook Live, I might talk about that. Not to get negative about this, but you hear about this all the time. When you turn on the news, it's all about, this coronavirus, right? And a lot of concerns that people have about whether they would be able to, survive it if they even got something like that. Well, I can tell you for a fact, I've been on a product for X amount of months, or I've been on a product for a year that has strengthened my immune system. In fact, none of our family members have been sick. You see what I mean? And if you're interested in knowing more about that, just reach out to me. That's mumbling. Or if you're at a gym and you're talking about the workouts, the reps you're doing, and oh, by the way, I found a protein product that's really helping me achieve my fitness goals. If you haven't found the one that that you've been looking for and you want to reach out to me, then reach out to me and I'll be glad to share it with you. Mumbling. So I think mumbling can be, hey Prashant, nice to hear from you. Sometimes mumbling is better than just coming right out and talking about your product and it sounds like a commercial. But that doesn't mean you can't do it. But if you're doing it often, people probably won't pay attention. I mean, I see this with my distributors all the time. They're always posting about their products and you'll see 0 likes, 1 like. Oh, I got 2 finally, on a post. That's the problem. Okay, so, and then he asked, what point should we include in a video that we have to send to our prospects? Again, if it's, I think the need, you have to establish the need for your product very quickly. We talked about that this week, remember? We talked about how to have a 1 line or a very short paragraph that says everything about your product. In other words, why does the prospect need it? What problem does it solve? And then that's it. I mean, they want to know why. Why do I need this? How's this going to help me? That's it. So establish very quickly, whatever you're promoting, establish that need in the video and why that has value to them. That's all they need to know. I think we get into too much information. Some people want to go into the compensation plan and all that. I never encourage that. And then Daniela, I don't know where Daniela's from. Daniela, are you present in the house? Hey, Andrina, I'm coming to you. So she says, hi, Jeff. I'd like to know how I can motivate my team and what it would take to make this real, not a hobby. Well, again, hobbies cost you money. You treat this like a business. That's what you have to do. So in other words, what are you doing with your time? Who are you spending your time with? Are you involved in income producing activities? Income producing activities. That means not chit chatting on Facebook or just wasting time on Facebook. Wasting time, period. So income producing activities is following up with a prospect or prospecting or working with people in your downline. Those are income producing activities. So you need to be involved with that. Treat it like a business. If you're part-time, then make that part-time smart time. Make it strategic. And that's what you have to, I was talking about this today when somebody asked me this question, what did I do? Or it actually was a Zoom call with Lynn, who's on this call now. And she asked, what advice would you give a new person? And that's what I said, is that expectations, have proper expectations when you come in here. If most people when they join a network marketing company have limited time. Therefore, you have to be strategic. When I came home from work every day before I went full time, I come in after a hard day's work, eat something, then go down the hallway, close the door, start making phone calls. It was those things that I did consistently that at the end of the month, it added up to a lot. And I did that month after month. And then finally, once my income, hit where I needed to be, that was it. I was out the door. I said, forget it. I'm done. I'm going in this full time. Did it scare me? Yeah, I was scared. It's amazing when you're scared, you'll even produce more. And then I remember that first full month after, I hopped in my car and I traveled all over the United States and Canada doing meetings. When I finally got home a month later, my income almost doubled. I never looked back. That was 27 years ago. So that anyway, as far as motivating your team though, Daniela, just be an example of these areas. That's the key thing. You can't teach what you don't do. I mean, the best way to teach it is by example. And so when they see you doing this, that you're treating it like a business and not a hobby, they're going to do that too. And then Peter from Belgium, he talks about if you sign somebody up, but the person but they didn't purchase the entry kit, they didn't buy the kit, they just basically took an ID number. How many of you have had that happen where somebody just signs up, takes an ID number? And he says, and then they're taking your time. He said, what is the best way to do with this? To make it clear that you're only spending time if they do what's required, which is get the kit and do the product order. Well, I think, Peter, you just answered your question. That's right. If they just took an ID number, you know what that's called, friends? A phone book. When all you got is names and ID numbers, but there's no volume there, that's called a phone book. If you don't know what a phone book was, it was in my earlier days, Google it, okay? All right, so, and then Andrina from Texas. What is your response to the people that say they want to do the business, but they want to try the product first? Okay, so, here's the thing. If they want to try the product first, I mean, that's okay. I mean, if they're insistent on that, I'm not going to blow them out and tell them that they're wrong, right? I think the best thing to do in those kind of situations is add them to a Facebook group, let them see that the stories that people are sharing, that is about what the product is doing for them. That's called social proof. They see social proof that people are getting results, and then say, you're like everyone else. You're human, and they are too. You see the results they are getting? This product's not on trial. It's not on trial. There's a business opportunity here. Why lose time? This is going to be in every home in the United States and around the world. Don't lose time. Sure, be on the product, but get busy with the business, because this is real, as you can see in these stories. Without social proof, okay, unless you have scientific evidence about your product, okay, even in then, the old saying, what's the old saying? Facts tell, but what? Stories sell. And so use those groups. Archie Schrader in Alabama, he just talks about, he has to, I'm familiar with the company he's in. I think the answer to that is $25, Archie, on that kit. Every company has a different cost entry point on usually about how you get started. He asked the question, how is the best way to learn about all the product benefits? I'm already using several of the products, but what's the best way to learn? Again, Facebook groups is the best way, I think, to learn. I mean, companies have catalogs, but companies aren't going to make claims about their products because legally they can't do that. So again, get educated in a Facebook group. I will reach out to you and suggest one. And then when prospecting, is it good to invite several family, friends, and associates together to share the products and business opportunities? If so, how many people would you suggest? That's a good question, very good question. Here's the thing, that can backfire. I mean, I remember the days when we used to say one-on-ones are not duplicatable. They're not duplicatable. What do we mean by that? That means people with limited time don't have the time to do a lot of one-on-ones. So therefore, let's get them all together. And, we used to call it PBRs back in the 1980s, private business receptions. And, just get them all together, do the presentation, raise your hand if you're in. Though for those of you that are out, thank you for coming. You can leave now. Here's the thing. There's that part of me that says people don't like being herded together like cows. Okay? There's that, because some people, they want the VIP treatment. And it's hard for you to give equal attention to each person if you invite a group. Matter of fact, it's very overwhelming. So even though again, it takes more time to prospect people, I would say when you make your list, ABC, A is what you consider people with the best potential. Best potential doesn't mean they're broke, therefore they need the money, right? But my rich lawyer friend, he doesn't need the money. Maybe I can get him as a customer. They all have issues in their lives, and they all do, except he doesn't, right? Kids don't, they got no worries, right? Anyway, so we're talking about best potential. Best potential means what? Did you see that Chinese girl here? Where did she go? Well, hopefully I'll see her again. Anyway, May, who just talked, did you see the energy? Did you see the certainty in her attitude? Oh my gosh. You can do anything with that, friends. I'm serious. And that's what I'm saying. What you want to do is you want to just do it just like that. And that's May. Oh no, that's Michelle.
Hi, man. Wait, it's my turn.
She's making a joke. Anyway, well, you might as well send the other Chinese girl too. Actually, there were two that came over from that event last week. But anyway, those people that have the potential, they have influence. And what I mean by influence is like this. It was like I did a Zoom call today. I did a Zoom call with a very interesting man out of Canada. Has a big, just a big following. He's a health trainer. He's been doing it for many years. Highly committed, highly dedicated. And, and because he has all these scientific questions that I'll never want to answer or learn how to answer, I just got some PhD doctors on a Zoom call with him, right? And I let them interact, and I just stared at them all, But it was a very fascinating conversation. But the thing about it is, that guy's got influence. All he has to do is say to all those thousands of people that follow him, I want you to get on this product. They'll get on the product. For those of you that need extra money, I need you to join me in this business. They'll join him in the business. That's called influence, friends. So when I'm not looking for somebody that necessarily has network marketing influence. That's okay if they do. I'm just looking for somebody who has influence. I have one man that's a pastor in my downline that he broke all the company records, including mine, on going from 0 to the top position, and he did it in less than a year, okay? An amazing guy, but he has a church network throughout South America. And that's all these, so he's connected to all these pastors. And these pastors are connected to all these people, right? That's called influence. So it doesn't matter where the influence comes from. Just the fact that when you make a prospect list, put A is for those people that have the greatest potential and have influence with people. B, possibly they do. C, probably more like a customer. And then what I would do, Archie, is I would, though your A prospects, spend time with them individually. Either, you know, if they're long distance, you can do a Zoom call. I like video chat better than just calling somebody on the phone. But if they don't have this app, that's okay. Call them on the phone. But if you can see them, you know, go have lunch with them. I would recommend that. Don't hurt them like cows, you know. Now, Johansel from, well, I forgot where he's from. I think Mexico. He asked the question when presenting the business in person, you know, that we give out samples, let them try products, things like that. But when you're doing a Zoom call, how do you do that? How do you get them to try the products and see if they like them or identify with them? Here's the thing, friends. Most likely your company has a money-back guarantee. I would assume you do. So so if you're talking to somebody on Zoom, say, hey, listen, you know, our company stands behind a 100% money-back guarantee. If you don't like the products, if you're not sold on it, and I believe you will be, but if you're not, you'll get your money back. You've got nothing to lose, I'll guarantee you. I mean, that's it. You just got to give them that assurance, and that's how I would handle that. You know, here's the sample thing is okay, but here's my opinion. If you're in a wellness company, this is my opinion, you cannot sample good health. You have to commit to good health. I'll say that again. If you're in a wellness company, you cannot sample good health. You have to commit to good health. How do you sample car insurance? Why do you have car insurance? Well, I gotta have car insurance. Why? Does it make your car look better? No. Does it clean your car? No. Well, what the heck does it do? It protects the car in case there's a problem. Okay. All right, so if you're in a wellness company, it's the same thing. You know, a lot of the products out there do not give you stimulation, okay? It doesn't stimulate you, okay? That's Arthur wanting to get attention. Just, he's a kid. Anyway, so if most products out there are not stimulating, they're not giving you a buzz or something, or dramatic results, most wellness products are going to do that. Because they're not supposed to do that. We're supposed to commit to healthy diet, healthy supplements, you know, things that can really help our health. But that's what it's designed to do. So you have to commit to that long term to see the benefits. If you buy car insurance, just, you know, God forbid you're in an accident, just for protection, well, you are your best investment. So you have to commit to good health. You can't sample it. And that's why I tell people, but there's a money-back guarantee. But I'm not against people sampling products if they want to. Certain products, they might taste good. For example, I think that's a good thing. And here's the other question. How do you respond to an objection related to another company's compensation plan? I know it all depends on the company. The prospect is talking about general facts about compensation plans, like one I read, that most six-figure income earners earn around 5% of their organization's sales volume. Based on this, some people say most compensation plans are similar these days. You know what? I think that's a bunch of bull. I mean, how can we say that? It's six figures. So, you know, let's just say my organization, let's say, I don't know, if it's earning doing around 200,000 of that, and if I'm earning 5%, that's around 10 grand. Is that right? I wasn't good in math at school, but I mean, all compensation plans are different. Where the percentages lie are different. We're talking about averages. Here's the bottom line. What I want to know is, go to the income disclosure. Go there. Most companies on their websites will have income disclosure. They will tell you what each rank earns, lowest to the highest, per rank, what they make, what they earn. So let's say you go to the 4th rank, and let's just say, to qualify for that, you got to have $250,000 to be a, let's just say, Gold International Diamond. Let's say that. Well, I'm just coming up with a name, okay? Now compare that to another company that requires the same, about the same thing. What is their income disclosure showing compared to your income disclosure? I mean, the percentages are all different in different companies, bonus pools, things like that. It's hard to figure out, compare all that. It really is. But I think the most important thing is, look at the amount of people and what they're earning. If you go from first rank in an income disclosure to the last rank, the top rank in an income disclosure, take them all together, get a picture. Okay? I remember one time I did that with a woman. I didn't even know who she was. She called me up and said, "Could you tell me what your compensation plan is about?" I said, "Do I know you?" She was a top earner or making a lot of money in another company. I said, "Well, I could tell you, or you could just Google it. Just company name, income disclosure." And immediately she did it. And then she goes, "Holy crap." I said, "You must have saw something different." Okay? There are companies out there with great plans. There are companies out there with not so great plans. But it's interesting how most people will never examine these things. They just enroll and go to work, and either they're doing well or they're wondering, why am I not making anything? Well, would you go and want to be employed by a company and they never told you what they were going to pay you? That's foolish, isn't it? So look at the income disclosure. And if you say, well, the company I'm looking at doesn't have an income disclosure. Wow. Well, that's just like the guy that says you're hired, but he never says what you're going to make. Would you work for a company like that? I think I'd go down the road and find another company. So, and then why did I lose this? So that's my answer on that. So here we have, and then Yvonne says, "Do you recommend Facebook parties?" It works. I've got some friends. These are women that are, they're into cosmetics, right? So I think Facebook parties for those things are great. Like you unbox it, they create a Facebook group, add some of their warm market friends in, and they're going to unbox it, or they're going to do a demo on the makeup. And I know one lady that rocks with that. She really rocks with that. Not a bad idea. It really depends on the products. It really does. So all right, here's Alice Eversion. I've been doing cold prospecting on Facebook using Ray scripts without much success. I've been kicked out of a couple of groups for private messaging. Any suggestion? Okay. All right, Alice, here's what you can do. So you're using a script, and you're using Ray scripts without much success. Okay, so then here's what I would do. Have you ever recorded yourself when you call somebody? I want you to try that. And I want you to listen to the recording after when you finish the call, okay? I mean, I did that many years ago even, and I'd listen to myself. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm not saying you're this way, Alice. I'm talking about me. I say, good night, Jeff. Where was your energy? I mean, come on. You suck. This is terrible. Pick it up. Even put a mirror, because keep in mind, your physiology affects your emotions. That affects the brain. If we're slumped over, if our shoulders are down, it's going to be low energy. So sit up, have a mirror even. You might want to try that. Make sure that you know your script, but don't sound like you're reading a script. Have a conversation. Just have a conversation. Try that. As far as getting kicked out of a couple of groups for private messaging, okay, you might want to build some rapport with, if you're in a group, you're new in a group, build some rapport with these people before you message them about what you're doing. Okay, so I'm now going to go to George, anything he sent, and then I'm going to answer. And if you've got a question, feel free. I only see one. Boy, you guys have let me off early tonight. That means I get to go party. Anyway. Oh, wait, that's the question, George, isn't it? Yeah, she sent me that. Alice did. So, and I don't see any more. Wow. So, wasn't that interesting? But again, this is an example of what I've been telling you guys. You know, here I go to an event, I talk to different people. I'll tell you an interesting, I remember the first night I went there. It was the night before the event began. I went to the lounge. I was sitting at the lounge watching a ball game. Woman came in, sat beside me, started talking. I said, "Where are you from?" "New York." "Oh, cool. You're here for the event?" "Yeah, I'm here for the event." "Cool, cool, cool." And I said, "Yeah, I love New York." I said, 2 years ago, took family up to the Plaza Hotels, you know, the Plaza where Home Alone 2 was filmed. Anyway, right in front of Central Park. Anyway, I said, stayed at the Plaza Hotel, just loved it. She said, "Hey, I live at the Plaza Hotel." I said, "You live at the Plaza Hotel?" "Yeah, I live at the Plaza Hotel." I said, "Really?" I said, and so I said, "So what's your background? What do you do?" Well, she was a career person, worked overseas, got bored, and then now she's working with a group of doctors, and they're looking for health supplements, you know, and good products to market. And I looked at her and smiled. I said, "Well, I have that. I have that product." "Really?" I said, "Absolutely." Anyway, it's as simple as that, friends. You know, I mean, and by the way, I Googled what condos go for at the Plaza. You know, it's around 20 million. 20 million, okay. Yeah, life is rough, you know, live at the Plaza. Anyway, but you will meet interesting people at events, third-party events that I'm talking about. You never know. And like I said, you know, and then in this case, meet a very young, aggressive girl who lives in China, wants to go back and tear it up. That could be you. That could be you. You've got to look for opportunities to reach out to people wherever you go in public. And I'll tell you, it's not so much them as who they know. Matter of fact, my best leaders was who someone knew, you know, and that's where I found some of my best leaders, because I'd always ask that person, "Who do you know?" Even if they're not interested and they don't want to be involved in me, I'd say, "Well, who do you know?" Because you probably know somebody. So it's been just great spending some time with you tonight, and want you guys to have an awesome weekend. Awesome weekend. Make sure you're following up on your prospects, okay? People that show interest. You know, how often should you do that, or when should you do that? I tell you what, I believe 30 minutes after I sent them a link, I'm on the phone with them. And they knew that before I sent the link. Otherwise, I won't send a link. If we can't talk, they're not interested. So, but follow up with those people right away. I remember back in March of 1993 when I answered a bunch of ads and nobody followed up with me. Not one single person. One woman sent me a package with her application all filled out. She didn't even follow up with me. So what did I do? The company that she was in, I just called the company. I said, "Who's your top distributor?" Called him. I said, "This is going to be your lucky day." He's like, "Who are you?" and then he said, "Well, I'm not taking on any more frontline people." And I said, "Well, looks like you just missed out on a lot of money." And he says, "I changed my mind. I'll take you on." Very funny. That was back in March of 1993. So, you know, be careful about not talking to the person next to you in line. Be social when you're around people. How do I find people? I'm social. I talk to them. And that girl, man, she's a maniac. I mean, man, you put her out there in public, she's talking to everybody. I'm telling you, just don't become a recluse. Don't let social media kill the skills in you and you become a recluse, where you lose your ability to connect with people and talk with people, socialize with people. It's amazing how they call this social media, but very few people are social with it anyway, you know? They send you a friend request and oh yeah, hey man, I'll message that person or leave them a voice message saying, hey, it's nice to be connected with you. I look forward to getting to know you. And they don't even answer it. When they don't answer, you know what I do? I'll give them a few days. I unfriend them immediately. Look, if you're not social, we're not being connected. That is the rule. This is social media, and you got to be polite. You need to have managers. And now George is sending me something. What are you doing, George? George is sending me something, and that is, Andrina. She's okay. So she's in a talkative mood tonight. Yeah. So from Texas, how do I deal with my introverted people that say they can't do this? Okay, that's a good. Now I'm going to sound like I contradict myself. Ray Higdon is an introvert. I'm not an introvert, okay? Ray Higdon is an introvert. Seriously. How well did Ray do? Okay, he did very well. Okay? They just do it differently. They do it differently. And Ray even, he got coaching on this too. Whoever was coaching, I remember it was an ANMP event in Texas, where a lot of different networkers get together and different top earners do presentations, trainings. I was one of the ones that did. But I remember that night we went to the lounge, a lot of people in the lounge, right? See, Ray doesn't socialize, at least at that time. He does now. But Ray is not a chit-chat social person. Matter of fact, he's uncomfortable with it when he gets around people. On stage, he's great. In front of the camera, he's awesome, right? But socially, not so. And so one night, I'm sitting at the lounge with some of the guys. We're watching the ball game and all talking. And then Ray comes up right beside me, and I look at him. I said, "What are you doing here? You don't do this." He says, "Yeah, I know, but my coach said I got to break through that. I got to work on it." I said, "Awesome, good." And I sort of look at it like the Wizard of Oz. Remember the Wizard of Oz? When the Tin Man, the Scarecrow, and the Lion, and Dorothy went to see him. Finally, got into the chamber, but behind the curtain was this little old man. He was powerful behind the curtain. He could say, "I am the great and most powerful Oz," smoke's bellowing out and all that. But he's back there just pushing the buttons, doing the gadgets, doing all that stuff. Because that's where he's safe. He's safe behind the curtain. Outside of that curtain, he doesn't feel safe. Matter of fact, he had to escape in a balloon, right? But introverts are like that. So with introverts, we just got to let them be what they are and not have them feel like they got to be a Jeff Gilbert's, that is outgoing and things like that and loves to connect with people, loves to socialize. Introverts are not like that. They're not going to be the people that are going to get on a stage and inspire an audience with a speech. You're never going to see them do that. What they do is they love being behind the screen of a computer. That is the curtain. So what I recommend that you do, again, it's very important, Andrina, to make sure they have online tools to work with. As long as they got the tools, they can do the job. And that's what they want to do. And actually, they don't mind communicating with people that way. But that is the way introverts are going to do it. So we embrace it, we celebrate it. We don't say, "Hey, that's wrong." What you need to do is do what Jeff said, be social, get out there. No, with introverts, okay. I'm talking to you people that are not introverts. Then you could do it the way I was just earlier suggesting. But with introverts, they're going to do it differently. And see, like with Ray, you know, like I said, when he's an introvert and he's not comfortable socializing. It's just one of those things. But in front of a camera, he just sees it as a camera, or a phone, or an iPad, like I'm on right now. And it's impersonal in that sense. You know what I mean? He doesn't see the people that are out there. So, but I'm glad he broke through that, and now he is. He's moving from being an introvert to an extrovert. But again, if you want to be an introvert and stay an introvert, can introverts make it in network marketing? Sure they can. Ray Higdon did it. Others, thousands have done it. But, you know, just do it that way. Make sure they got the tools. And yeah, that's right. You got it. You got it. So I guess that's it. George let me off tonight. And, or you did. Wait, no, now, so here's a man from I don't know where. How do I transmit security when I still don't have the results I'm looking for? Let's see if I can translate that. This is Mr. Herrera saying, how do I sell success when I'm not getting the results I'm looking for? Again, it's never based on you. You never make yourself the issue in this business. Because if it was based on results and success when we're just getting started, if that's what we have to have, results and success when we just get started, well, I guess nobody would join us. See, again, don't put yourself on trial. Don't make yourself the issue. Okay? The question, when somebody would ask me that question, I said, well, if you're they said, well, how much money are you making? Well, that's a good question. It's okay with that. It was really funny because May, the Chinese girl, asked, I had some leaders over here tonight. And this lady's a strong six-figure earner. I mean, almost triple six-figure earner, okay? And she's my assistant. Anyway, she asked the husband, how much you making? He said, a little bit. I laughed. I said, that's what she gives him, is a little bit. You need to ask the wife how much she's making, okay? Anyway, I just had a joke about that. It was funny. Anyway, at least it was funny when it happened. So the thing about it is, when somebody asks that, if I'm not making any money, I'd say, well, I'm just getting started, or I'm really new at this. So new does not give you a start date, okay? I'm really new at this. That new can mean that you are a slow learner. Okay. Or you're hard-headed and now you became teachable. I'm really new at this, but if you're asking if people are making money, why don't I introduce you to my upline who's been in it for some time, and they can share their experiences with you. Can I do that? So that's how I handle that. But Mr. Herrera, I think the thing is, it's not so much that as, because you feel like you're not successful, you can't sell it. So that's a mindset. That's a mindset issue. See, let me just tell you this. I want you to shift. And there's a book you should read. It's called Unlimited Power by Anthony Robbins. In December, I told Anthony that book changed my life, just last month. That book changed my life back in March of 1993. See, because I was so focused on the fact I wasn't successful, I was broke, I was bankrupt, okay? And that was my focus. When we focus on what we don't like, we attract more of it. When we focus on the fact that we're not successful, we find a way to confirm it. What I want you to do is shift that. So I want you to, anytime that thought comes around, I want you to immediately dismiss it. And if you have to shout it out with affirmations that I am successful, I'm already successful, I have many blessings, God has blessed me already with many things, and I know better things are coming. I am going to achieve all the things I wanted to achieve in my business because I'm blessed. When you start thinking that way, your life will change. I can tell you that when I was broke and getting started, every Sunday I would go down Dream Street in that city I lived where all the rich people lived. Beautiful estate homes. I walked around some of the different streets. Beautiful places. Oh my gosh. And I'm broke, right? But I'm walking down the sidewalks in front of these big mansions, and I'd say to myself, yes, this is the way it's going to be. And this is the way my life's going to turn out. That house there with the pillars, yeah, I'm going to have a house like that. Those gardens, rose gardens, perennial gardens, yeah. And I'm going to have a gardener too. That Mercedes in the driveway, yep. And I'm going to put a BMW next to it. And I do that every Sunday. Repetition, repetition. I'm listening to Anthony Robbins cassettes. They were cassettes that I had. Unlimited power, taking notes every day. Every day. Washing that crap out of my brain and putting in my mind good thoughts that I would rehearse, okay? You got to change the way you think and shift. Because I did that every Sunday. And you know what? In 18 months, I was moving into the house of my dreams. By the way, I'll post that tomorrow on my Facebook page, so look for it. I'll let you see that house, okay? In 18 months, I was moving into the house of my dreams. And yes, it did have pillars out front. And yes, it did have gardens. I'm telling you. And I never looked back. I mean, would you get what you think about? Where focus goes, energy flows. That's what Anthony Robbins teaches. Where focus goes, energy flows. If you're focused on the fact you're not successful, negative energy is going to come pouring down on you like rain. And it's going to make sure that you're trapped, and it's going to make sure that you stay there. And the only way you can break that is you got to change your state, which means you got to change the way you think and make sure your physiology is changing with it. And my physiology, every time I went down Dream Street, I'm walking straight up. I'm just walking around. Yeah, this is the way it's going to be. This is the way my life's going to turn out. I didn't walk through there saying, look at all these rich people. Probably got all their money from their parents, never worked a day in their freaking life. You know, had a silver spoon. See, that's the way a lot of these politicians in America are trying to teach people how to think. To hate people that want to be more, do more, have more. They want you to hate them, envy them. Why? So that way you need the politicians. You can get their food stamps, be on government assistance, get their health care, which is not going to be health care. I mean, it's about them. Don't, turn off your TV sets, okay? Don't listen to these idiots. I question whether they worked a day in their life, that's for sure. You mean, here I'm a guy that was a janitor, mop floors at night, had to work my butt off to get what I have, and they want to demonize me and other people in our profession that have worked very hard. We gave up a lot of our life for this, worked hard, and they want to demonize that. See, that's the thinking you don't want to buy into. Turn that crap off, and you start exposing yourself to mentors like Anthony Robbins. And then that's what I did. That's how my life changed. And instead of demonizing these people, I applauded every bit of it. So this is awesome. This is great. You're an example of what we want to be and do. We don't want to be in a state of want. Success is about getting those things you want. Fulfillment is giving a lot of it away. That's the beauty of it. But you can't give anything away if you're broke. But that's what they want. Yeah. Keep you from fulfillment. And that's the beauty of success. You're able to feel fulfilled at the same time. So think about that, Mr. Herrera, is that you've got to change your state. You're already successful. When I walked down Dream Street and I was broke, I knew it was a done deal. It was confirmed. I knew it. I felt it in my bones. Now, that didn't mean I went home and sat on the couch and watched TV, waiting for the money to come in the mailbox or my bank account. No, I busted my butt. I wanted it. I was hungry. So I hope you're hungry. Just change your mindset. It's negative, and you'll get results. So thanks for getting on tonight, and appreciate all of you guys. Really do. Wish you all the success. Reach out to me anytime. Have an awesome weekend, man. See you soon.